I just, and this gets back to the guardian cap. And Omar, I say this all the time. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness means you also have the right to screw your life up if you want to. You can do dumb things. You can jump out of an airplane. You can ride a motorcycle without a helmet in the states that allow it. So if he doesn't want to wear a guardian cap, that's his business. The other side of the coin is, if he was my son, and it dawned on me today he's younger than my son, I would need a lot of alcohol and marijuana to get through 3 hours of him playing football. I wouldn't want to watch it. I wouldn't want to know what's going on. I wouldn't be able to deal with it after what we've seen the past couple of years.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? I think Tua's frustration is a little bit valid because his injuries have been so ugly and the fencing hands. We treat him differently than we treat any other player in the NFL. Teron Armstead, Kendall Fuller, Devon Achane, they all suffered a concussion. Sit a week, and then you're back in the action. With Tua, we need a month. We need so thorough evaluations. Are you considering retirement? And that I think he is very frustrated by the fragility reputation that he has. Now, I think it tremendously annoys him. But he has made it clear, I'm going to continue to play this game till the wheels fall off, and there's nothing that you're going to do about it. Now, the question is that a wise decision? We all get to make our choices in life. My disappointment was just the resistance to the guardian cap. Even though you're wearing the safest, most ideal protected helmet, why would you not take the extra precaution? Why? Just because it makes you look weak or look scared? I'm a little disappointed in that. Devon Achane said his mom asked him to wear the guardian cap. Done deal. He wore the guardian cap the first game. It's over. If he continues to wear it, past the week after his concussion, props to him. I think that's the direction do we actually need the clashing of helmets, the sound to make football this violent physical sport that we absolutely love? My argument to that would be no.
Well, and I think also, Omar, it's the look. The game is very visual. It became what it is because of how it looks on TV. And I understand that that's the NFL's concern. As of last year, they wouldn't let the players wear the guardian caps during the games if they wanted to. Now they've come up with this covering, and it kind of looks like a beanbag chair that needs to be pushed around the right way, like it's all kind of misshapen. It just doesn't look like a helmet. And I think so many people get fascinated by how that looks. They're the gladiators, and this is their uniform.
Yeah.
And there's something off about the guardian cap, and people have a hard time getting past that. But you mentioned it. It's what it represents for Tua, and I think he's trying his damnedest to make the defenses not think he's thinking about it and make himself think he's not thinking about it. It's like the quarterback with the torn ACL on his front leg. Carson Palmer went through this back in 2006, the year after he tore his ACL. You're constantly seeing ghosts around your knee. You're thinking about your knee. I think Tua is trying to get to the point, Omar, where he's not thinking about another brain injury, even if he does need to think about it to avoid taking blows to the head that he shouldn't take.
Yeah, it's the theme of the week this week has been how sharp Tua looks in practice, and he does indeed look sharp. When you've been off for 5 weeks, your arm's going to look real live. But also, Tua, everybody's saying to Tua, hey, we just need you healthy. Live to fight another day. We don't need the scrambling Tua. We don't need a Tua because he's done this from time to time where he's head first, and all quarterbacks do this. They're football players. It's an instinctual thing. But if Tua hasn't spent the last 5 weeks learning how to slide, and slide like the best baseball player ever alive, I think he'd be making a mistake.
Well, and I think back to the moment where he did what he did. He had already gotten the first down against Buffalo. They were getting down near the goal line. He wasn't going to score. He wasn't going to bull his way through Damar Hamlin and get a touchdown. But it was a game where they needed a spark. If he doesn't get the concussion, think of how the teammates would have reacted. And maybe that's the kick in the ass they needed to come back and beat the Bills, because it felt like the game was getting away from them. This was kind of the last gasp. If we're going to get back into it, it's
Absolutely.
now. So we've seen that. When the guy doesn't get injured, that's the kind of moment that can elevate a team. So I don't know whether he made a strategic decision, whether he just went with the instinct, but you've got to fight against that instinct if you want to stay healthy. That's the challenge.
That's exactly
that extra yard doesn't matter. What matters is You'll be on the field next week. You'll be on the field the week after. You won't be sidelined for a month. And it's easy to tell a guy that when he's not in uniform and a game's not happening. It's a lot harder to get that through to him when he's out there on the field.
But I think this month has allowed him to learn how valuable and how important he is. This offense does not work without him. 10 points a game. You go from scoring the most points and putting up the most yards to 10 points a game and really having to run the ball 40 times just to sustain any kind of semblance of an offense. And this is a dumbed down version of the offense. They've been in survival mode. Even, Waddle and Tyreek, one target in the first half of a game, one reception each. Those guys have been in survival mode. And right now, Tua's return provides such a relief to this team, except for the point that they didn't get enough wins to keep this out of survival mode for the season. And right now, they're not playing an elimination game, but they're getting pretty close to it. You've got to beat the Arizona Cardinals this week just to head into that Sunday night matchup against the Buffalo Bills. You get a second chance of redemption for the AFC East, second chance to prove who you really are as a team. And then after that, the schedule loosens up to the point where you're playing some bottom dwellers, and you got to win those games. You cannot afford any slippage. And then if you do take care of business, win 4 of the next 5 games, you will be relevant in December.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.